My name is Sugata Mitra and I'm a professor of educational technology at Newcastle University.
My name is Katrin Macmillan and I'm the founder of Projects for All. And at Projects for All, our main project is Hello World. Hello World is outdoor, solar-powered, internet-enabled computer kiosks so that children can become autodidactic and tell their story.
And what a Hello Hub is a bit like an old experiment of mine called the hole in the wall, which is basically a computer embedded inside a wall. Except that the Hello Hub is obviously much more modern than that. It's solar powered and it's wireless.
I first saw Sugata Mitra's TED Talk about 3.5 years ago. In it, he explains how far children can take their education if they have access to the internet.
He said in 9 months, a group of children left alone with a computer in any language would reach the same standard as an office secretary in the West.
It blew my mind. At the end of his TED Talk, Sugata said, "Help me build a school in the cloud." And that's exactly what we tried to do.
The Hello Hubs are used 24 hours a day, which I find quite astonishing because I never actually kept any of mine open beyond sunset. But to be quite honest, I was frightened of adults coming in the night and of inappropriate access. But what Katrin's work seems to show is that fear was unfounded.
We work with communities who have very often never seen a computer before, never been on the internet, and don't even know what it is. And we support them while they build this absolutely beautiful and complicated Hello Hub. And there's often a measure of disbelief, definitely from the development international community, and even from the community that we work with in Africa as well, as to whether or not they'll be able to do it. But of course they can, and they do. So we have engineers who are 4 years old working alongside their parents and adults in the community to build their Hello Hub.
To me, that sounds like that there is firstly a well-defined problem, and this person has solved it.
Sugata has been incredibly supportive of Project Hello World. He shared his research, he shared his expertise, and he's given us really impactful advice on how to make Project Hello World work. He suggested that one of the screens be dropped down low to the ground to discourage teenage boys and men from using it. He also taught us that having the screens be public and large would prevent the children looking for inappropriate content, because if there's a chance that your grandmother could walk past at any moment, it's really unlikely that you're going to sit there in the town square looking at pornography.
Moral of the story is that if you have a big screen, if it's publicly visible, if the whole community has access to it, if the people using it are heterogeneous, meaning there are men, women, children together, then you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about inappropriate access. You don't have to worry about the upkeep of the technology. You don't have to worry about theft. It's great news about humanity, isn't it?
During every Hello Hub build, we establish a few groups. So there's an engineering group who take responsibility for building the hub, and anyone who wants to be in the engineering group, no matter how much experience or how inexperienced they are, can join. There's a women's group to ensure equal and fair access for women and girls. In the women's group, I was explaining why we were building the Hello Hub with them. And I said, it's connected to the internet. And everyone looked quite blank. And I realised that nobody knew what the internet was, and I was going to have to explain it. So I found myself saying, well, you know, the internet is, there's a satellite, and everyone looked really blank. And I bought a dongle and my laptop, and we got started on Monday morning. And I said, well, so who has a question to ask the internet? And everyone was obviously a little bit shy. One woman said, I'm a teacher. Are there lesson plans on the internet? And I said, what do you teach? And she said she taught 5th grade science. And so we looked up 5th grade science lesson plans, and reams of material came up, of course. And she started to cry. The group closed around her and comforted her. And I didn't know why she was crying. And I waited. And when she took a breath, she looked up and she said, for 15 years I've been teaching with no books and no chalk and no lesson plans, and now I have an opportunity to give my students what they deserve. And for me, it was a lovely moment of realization that Hello Hubs aren't just for children who aren't enrolled in school, they're also for children who are in school, and for teachers to support them in the critical work that they're doing to educate the next generation.
As soon as children particularly, and users in general, begin to realize that you can ask for a skill and the internet actually will show you, literally show you, how to do certain things. They realize that it can be used for skill development. And the children discover that it can answer questions which is neither taught in school or taught badly or not explained well.
Fostering a spirit of inquiry and allowing children to understand what is the useful information and what's the useless information, giving them the space and the authority to design their education has some unbelievably exciting effects.
What does that mean? It means you could ask them anything. I have asked 9-year-olds the meaning of quantum entanglement and got back a reasonable answer within 25 minutes. The ability of a particle to exist at two different points in space-time at the same time. So I would say, oh my God, how can that happen? Don't you know any particle physics, they said.
And it gives me hope to think that children who have nothing and no one to protect them and no access at all to any learning materials can start to change their fortune with access to information and education.
The internet throws everything it has at them. The children don't know what they're supposed to and not supposed to read. They read everything. So now you might say, are they really capable of reading adult level stuff? Well, by a strange mechanism, in groups, they can. They can read about quantum entanglement and understand it. So I've seen it happen across question after question after question. So there really isn't much to prove there.
At Project Hello World, we take an unusual approach to development work. So when we partner with a community to build a Hello Hub, we don't take everything that we need to complete the project. So we take most of the technology and we ask the community to complete the investment in the project. And invariably, these are some of the poorest people in the world, and they say, but we have nothing, look around you. We ask them for the sand and the gravel to make cement and the wood to make the base. There are so many ways that they can invest for bricks and expertise, and it's not a trivial issue. It's about ownership and respect. This is their Hello Hub and it's theirs to use and maintain however they want. And the process of making an equal and appropriate investment together with the community in the hub is critical to the success of the project. We've discovered that through this process of empowering a community to build the hubs themselves, they're able to maintain and repair them. If specific parts that they can't find in the country are necessary, we can always post them. And so far, so good.
It's simple. I think that's its strength.
Sugata has been incredibly encouraging, and his many years of research are the reason that we were able to even begin Project Hello World. So we're entirely indebted to his work.